Hey guys, how's it going? Breaking news with Fire Emblem 4. We've discovered a turn save in Endgame. Toffee came up with this idea of transferring the leg ring from Seliph over to Leaf for the final castle seize. And that ended up finding a way that we could seize the castle on turn 7. Right now it's turn 5, and we've played the map basically exactly the same up to this point, with the exception that Leaf has more money than he had in the run. But yeah, there's a lot of cool tricks that we're going to be employing here that are unrelated to giving the leg ring that I wanted to show off. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So the first thing that's going to be different is, rather than returning our dancer here, we're going to instead have her Kanto back to this tile, and that tile will be important later. So otherwise, the strategy is going to play the same. I'm going to just be fast-forwarding through stuff because maybe 4 is a slow game. Yeah. Nothing to see here. Dozo Castle sucks. So we do need to make sure we move Fee. Fee's important to the strategy. She needs to move her full distance. It doesn't really matter where. Just trying to go too high up, I guess. But yeah. Okay. So back at the main castle, we are still going to be warping Sed because this is still a Berserk strategy. So yeah, nothing's changed there. One thing that is changing, though, is we're not using Lester anymore. Lester is no longer a good unit, so yeah, it's just Shannon, and that's going to make the strategy a lot more reliable as well. One thing we are going to do, though, is, well, although I said it's more reliable, we do need to rig some RNG. This is because the current way the RNG is set up is Shannon is going to miss against one of the Pegasus Knights, and we don't want that Pegasus Knight to be alive. So I guess they're Falcon Knights. But yeah. So we're going to get through that arena. And I believe we're all set up for this enemy phase. So yeah, Deadlords are going to spawn. And Freya does his thing. And these guys are all going to move the same. So the Falcon Knights are going to attack Shannon. Shannon should kill all of them. Technically we don't care if Shannon dies, but, you know. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do over here by the castle, we're going to get Shannon out of the way. And we're going to put Sed in, and we're going to Berserk Bishop Gallus here. The other reason why Shannon had to be there is because by having a unit in range of the Deadlords, it triggers them to move. And this is important because we no longer have a unit in range of the Deadlords, as you can see. Which means they're not going to move. In fact, they're going to move backwards to where they were standing. They're entering a state of passive AI, which means they won't do anything. And that is very important for this Fortify Bishop over here, or Fortify Priest, because she normally uses Fortify to heal Julius, and we don't want that to happen. We want Julius to be at 1 HP. And because she's now in passive AI, even though Julius is at 1 HP, she won't use Fortify. However, because Gallus has been berserked, he will still attack Julius because we have changed his AI to now be Berserk AI. So we don't have to worry about that part. Okay, anyways. So, down in the castle... Actually, wait, I think we need to move Seliph first. Yeah, okay. So, first we'll do Seliph's thing. So, we're going to sell the leg ring from Seliph, because he doesn't need it anymore. We're going to sell the silver sword so we don't accidentally use it. We're going to sell the Berserk ring, or the barrier ring, not the Berserk ring. And so one thing that's cool that's happening right now is you may notice Seliph has a lot of movement. And that is the Kanto exploit. You see, so when FE4 sends you to the Kanto state, it saves the move that you currently have. So by entering the store and selling an item, that triggers the Kanto state. And we sold the ring, but the game tracked our movement while we still had the ring. So Kanto still thinks that we had our movement beforehand. This is mainly probably done to prevent underflow bugs, but we can also exploit this to our advantage because now we just have a little bit more movement than we would have normally. So yeah, we're going to move Seliph over here. And we're going to move Fee as well. Again, Fee's exact positioning doesn't matter, but I try to keep her a bit low so that she doesn't get in range of the bishops. Okay, now we're going to get Leaf. So Pawnbroker, we're gonna have Leaf sell all of his junk that he doesn't need, and we're gonna have Leaf buy all the junk that he needs, and repair the rescue staff. We need 5 uses on it, so. Alright, and we're gonna warp Leaf to that castle that we just seized. So now we're going to move Leaf underneath this little cliffside here. And we're going to have him use the rescue staff on our dancer. And then we're going to have him Kanto back up to the corner of this tree. We're going to have our dancer dance, and then Leaf is going to rescue again. And move to this position. Okay. So now we should be all set up. We have Berserk Staff, and yeah, that should be it. Okay, let's end turn. Yeah, Arian's gonna show up, he doesn't matter. Okay, so Siliph needs to kill these enemies. He's got really good odds at doing it because we have a high kill light brand. I think it has 100 kills on it, actually. Yeah. He only gets attacked by 3 enemies, so we don't have to worry about him dying like we did in the original run. And Gallus is moving to attack Julius. Probably shouldn't have fast-forwarded through that, but, I mean, you've seen it before. Yeah. And then Julius kills him because Gallus sucks. So yeah, now you're going to see all the Deadlords are moving back to their positions. They're not healing Julius or anything like that. So Julius is now at 1 HP. So now all we have to do is hit him with anything, and he'll bite the dust. Okay, so now the reason we brought Fee over is because Fee's going to kill this guy. That's her purpose for this castle. Alright, Siliph is going to kill this guy. And we're going to move on to this tile. Now Leaf is going to not attack. He's going to rescue our dancer. It doesn't matter too much where because we have a lot of range. But Leaf needs to land on that forest right there. And then we're going to dance. Alright, and now Leaf is going to move next to this tree here. And he's going to rescue Siliph. And now we're in range to kill Julius. Now I'm going to make a save state here, because I'm a dirty cheater. But Siliph is going to kill Julius here. And yada yada yada. Okay. Got worried there for a second. But yeah. So the one thing about this turn save is it's not ranked viable. And the reason it's not ranked viable is because once we do this, because Siliph is mounted, you may notice the music is kind of weird. That's because the game is bugged, and if we seize the castle... Actually, it doesn't even matter if we seize the castle now. Just from this point on, the game considers us to have lost, like, a ton of times, and we will not achieve the perfect rank. But that is still 7 turns. Now, if we are going for a ranked run, the strategy still technically works. We just have to dismount Siliph and attack. Yeah, I was worried a bit because his hit rates are a bit lower there, but it's fine. Yeah, and now you see we are not in a bug state. We just end turn. Arian's still moving, and yeah, we can just go and seize like normal. So yeah, that's how to 7-turn endgame, and also a more reliable clear for endgame in ranked. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching.